most of you have been here, but just a reminder that you should do things that feel comfortable and useful for your body and nothing that hurts. And all right. So starting in standing, we're just going to wake up our bodies a little bit because it is early. It is Monday, and congratulations for if you have kids, getting them out the door. That was sort of my thing this morning was, am I going to survive the morning? All right, starting with your feet a little bit wide. We're just going to take a few breaths and bend into it. Inhale up. Close your eyes if you want to. Exhale, bend the knees as you dip down. Cross the arms and back up. Inhaling up. And exhaling down into a dip. And two more. Inhale up. Feel your energy starting to come into your body as you breathe. See if you can breathe down into the belly. Last one. Good. And then just keep your arms up, and we're going to do a reach up and overhead with the right arm. Up first, then over a little bit, stretching out the ribs, and then up and over with the left arm. Up, 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 and over. Good. One more time on the other side. Breathe into it as you lift, and then over, feeling those ribs stretch out. And the other side, up and over. Good. Let those arms come down slowly, palms to the ground. Good. And we're going to do some shoulder rolls. You can widen or narrow your feet if you feel more comfortable. First, just some shoulder rolls. Up, squeeze, and back and down. Forward, up and squeeze, and back and down. One more here. Good. And then just leave your shoulders back and down. And then we're going to do some squats. So I'd like to do them really wide if you can. If that does not feel comfortable coming down into sort of this opening up the hips position, then you can do them more narrow. You could do them hip distance apart and come back into a seated kind of chair pose and then up and out of it and back and down. So that's an option, and you can just counterbalance yourself with your arms. But if you can, let's open up the hips, widen the feet so that when you come down, the knees are over the ankles. And then we're going to press through the feet. So a couple without the arms first, coming down, knees over ankles, pressing through the heels and feet as you come down. Then we can add the arms, inhaling as you widen and come up. Exhale, press the palms and the feet down into the ground, squeeze the glutes. Inhaling. And exhaling. Find your breath, move with your breath. Inhaling up, slowly exhaling down, pressing and squeezing the glutes. 5 more, inhaling, feeling your belly now, taking the breath deep. Really slow exhale. That will bring you the rest of the way into your body if you're not here already. Nice. Should be warming up the legs. Your hips should be feeling a little bit stretched as your knees come out. Out, out, out. Good. Last one. Press down. Good. Then keep your legs wide. Bring your arms out to your sides, palms facing down, fingers really loose. And we're going to just side shift. So reach over to the left and reach over to the right. Good. Getting your torso moving. One more on each side. Nice. All right, let the legs come in, walk them in. And then we're going to do a little core wake up and shoulder wake up at the same time. So stand with your feet hip distance apart. Pull that belly button in towards your spine. If you are standing like this with your butt out, drop the sacrum, pull the belly button in, and kind of level the back into that neutral spine that we always find when we're on our back. So letting the sacrum drop down, pulling the core in. So stabilizing there. We're going to bring our arms out and thumbs up. Keep your belly really tight. We're going to do little circles, 20 each direction. So keeping your core tight, and you can go as fast as you want. The faster that you go, the more your body kind of wants to move. So pull your core in even more. And when you think you've done about 20, you can reverse, go the other way. Try to keep the body really still. Keep breathing. Good job. Nice work showing up on a Monday morning. Good. All right, when you think you've done about 20, let it come down. Very good. All right, we're going to make our way onto the mat. We will come back at the end and do some balance, but we're going to make our way down through some downward facing dog and some sort of lunge position stretches. If you want, if you have a yoga block nearby, or if you don't have a yoga block, I'll put my chair out here. But if you have a chair, you could have it next to you for when we do the lunging. That might help. All right. So standing at the back of the mat, feel yourself grounded. Feel those feet. Soften the knees and know that when we come down into the downward facing dog, we're going to keep our knees super, super soft and bent so that we can find length in the pelvis and through the spine. Inhale up, lift up the heart, open up the heart, up, up, up. And as you're ready, dive down into hands on the mat, sliding forward, downward facing dog. Lift that tailbone up high. Wiggle your feet wherever you need to, but keep those knees as bent as you want. Find the length in the spine. Take a couple breaths here. Notice the shoulders. Push away really strongly with those hands, nice wide fingers, so that the shoulders are engaged and never collapsing the shoulder into the scapula. So super strong through the shoulders. Lift the tailbone, let the head go. 2 more breaths here. Good. Allowing the heels to go down towards the floor as you're ready, and you can pedal the feet. So once you've taken a couple breaths in that lifted, tall tailbone, you can start pedaling the feet and feeling length through the back of the calf, the hamstring, the Achilles. Keep lifting the tailbone. So there's a nice counter force from the tailbone lifting one way, heel pressing the other. Couple more. And then we're going to bring our right leg forward. So lift up into a tall downward facing dog and then slide that right leg forward. Now this is where the block might come in handy. If you can come kind of high like this on a block, or you can put one hand on either side of your foot. If you have hip precautions, this is too much flexion. So use a block or drop the knee down and come a little higher like this. You can also use a chair next to you for balance. So whichever way you are, feeling a stretch in that back leg, bringing the chest forward towards the front thigh and really lengthening out the back hip flexor. Take a couple breaths into this. Try lifting the heart, whether you need the chair or whether you can do it with your hands on the ground. Try lifting up the heart so that you're not collapsing over that front leg. And then we're going to set the knee down, the back knee for everybody. Let the toes relax. Bring the right hand up to the right thigh and see if you can kind of balance there right over the top of the kneecap. So you're not on the kneecap, you're like over the top of it. And then we're just going to go forward and back. So not rolling over the kneecap, but forward and back so that you're stretching out the front hamstring and alternating with stretching out that back hip. If this is too much on your knee, put a little pad under the knee or put more pressure on the hands. Couple more. And we're going to switch our legs. Good. Go ahead and tuck that back toe under and lift up again. We're going to come around forward and into a big wide adductor stretch. So forward fold. Again, if you need something in front of you, you can use a chair or a block. Lift the heart up as best you can and just side to side. And then we'll make our way around to the other side. Breathing into those adductors, stretching out the inside of the leg. Nice, just back and forth, real gentle. It should feel like a good stretch from the pubic bone down all the way to the inside of the knee. And then we're going to rotate around and just come into a high lunge on the other side. Again, if you want your block on either side, that's fine. You can put your hands all the way down to the mat if that feels good on that back hip flexor, or you could even have a chair that you're kind of upright with. If you want, you can also drop that back leg. So hang out here for a couple breaths, trying to lift the heart up no matter where your arms are, even if they're on the floor, lifting up the heart and sinking into that back hip flexor stretch. And then lower the knee down. Try to place it so that your the weight is not right on the kneecap, but it's kind of above the kneecap. And then we're going to go forward and back with the weight of the hips. So when we come forward, feeling that nice hip flexor stretch. When we go back, hamstring stretch. Again, if you have a hip percussion, this is too much flexion. So you're going to be upright when you do this, keeping yourself out of that maximally flexed posture. So this is a demonstration of what you might do if your hips don't like that much flexion. Good. All right, now we're going to just come into all fours. So put your hands on your mat, slide that left leg back and come into an all fours position. Everything feeling a bit warmed up now. So in the all fours tabletop position, hands are super wide, super strong, pushing into the mat so that those shoulders are engaged. Nobody should look like this, collapsed. Push away so the middle spot between the shoulder blades comes up towards the ceiling. And then check that your elbows, wrists, and shoulders are in one alignment, and the knees are hip distance apart, and the knees are under the hips. We're just going to do a few cat-cows here first. So coming into mad cat, you're going to lift your tummy up, 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 very slowly as you inhale into those back ribs. Let the head drop. Tuck the pubic bone under toward the nose. Push away with those hands. Good. Feel those ribs expand with your in-breath. And then as you're ready, let the tummy drop. Tailbone floats up. Shoulder blades float back towards the hips. Go ahead and extend your neck as much as you want. So opening up the heart with the shoulder blades coming back. Lifting up, opening the throat, and then reverse. A few more on your own breath. Breathing through that spinal motion. See if you can let the head go. Let yourself have a little bit of neck traction when your head is down in the angry cat position. And if you have any anger in you today, you can hiss, growl, whatever you want, because you're silenced and it's good to get it out. Whenever you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes and really just feel the motion of your body. Come into the body and out of the brain as much as possible. Good. Coming back into all fours, we're going to do our alternating arm and leg exercise, which is a super good exercise to do daily, really. If you haven't been doing class and you want to just do leg, you can slide one leg out and lift it up in line with the body and not do the arm. Otherwise, you can do sliding the leg out and up in line with the body, and opposite arm rises up to meet it in line with the body, fingertips away from toes. Thumb is always up towards the ceiling so that we don't impinge the shoulder. Good. Belly button is pulled towards the spine so that you are really controlled and flat through that back. Slowly on your lowering and with control, slowly on the exhale as you lower and inhale as you lift. You can spend a full breath at the top if you want, or you can inhale up, find your balance, stretch, pause, and exhale down. If you're spending a full breath at the top, you're going to find your balance. Exhale and inhale fully. And then as you come to your second exhale, lower. Hopefully that made sense. Inhale up. Allow yourself to exhale. Keep that balance. Keep that beautiful posture. Inhale again. And then on your exhale, you're going to come down slowly. So that'll just add a little bit more balance. I'm going to do a few more here. If there's any pain in the shoulder when you lift it, make sure your thumb is up. That's the first thing. If you need to, you can widen it a little. So bring it out side of the body slightly. Good. Make sure your face is facing your mat. Long through the tailbone one way, long through the top of the head the other. This is our last one on each side. And we're going to sit back into child's pose and come to our breath. Nice. All right, my friends. Sit back on your heels if you can. If you can't do that much flexion, come into a prayer pose with forehead to the ground. Knees and hips more at 90. Let that tailbone float up. Child's pose feels fine on both the knees and the hips. You're going to wiggle so your belly goes down between the knees. Keep the heels together, knees apart. And let the forehead come to the ground and just rest here. You can let your arms come down if you prefer. Take some breaths into the ribs. Feel the space between the shoulder blades stretching out. As you exhale, let the earth hold you. Feel yourself grounded through the mat, through the earth. Try to let your head go, let it be heavy. Nice. All right. I'm going to come up into that prayer pose for everybody and let your bottom come up, forehead come down. Reach your arms up overhead and then bring your left elbow back a little bit. Bring your right arm around and underneath the space of the body. And we're going to just come into a little bit of a twist. So let that right arm twist under towards the left, feeling a stretch through the ribs and a twist through the torso. Take a breath here. Good, and then bring that right arm out from its tie. Bring it up overhead and then pull it back a little so the elbow can hold a little bit of weight, and bring that left arm down and then thread it through. And you can reach as far as you want towards your right with that left arm now, giving yourself a twist that feels comfortable and good. Take a breath. Good. And then come out of it. Nice. Come back up to all fours. Find your length one more time through the top of the head going one way, tailbone going the other. Just actively maintaining this totally still position, but feel yourself pulling the tailbone one way, top of the head the other, feeling the length in the spine, the strength in the shoulders, alignment of the hips, everything in good alignment. Take a mental picture of that. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to roll onto our back. All right. So, rolling back onto your back, we're going to find our neutral spine for the core work. So, always going through the full motion of the spine first. So, tailbone down, arches the back, pubic bone pulling up, flattens the back. Go through a couple rounds of full motion and ask yourself if there's anything going on in your back today. And then tighten up the core wherever you feel like your middle is. So neutral spine is right in the middle of the two extremes, somewhere where it feels comfortable to you. It's different for everybody and it can be different day to day, but there should be a tiny bit of space under the back when you find it. Tighten up the belly, pulling the belly button down towards the spine. If you need help doing that, inhale deeply and exhale, pulling in, shrinking the waist as you do that. And then you can either do marching to challenge it if you're feeling like that's enough, alternating one leg and then the other, or you can bring your legs up unweighted and reach out as far as you want. Little tiny motions is fine. Whatever feels like it challenges the core. So you want to really feel like you're maintaining that neutral, not arching when you reach, keeping it all the time stable, and that you're using that lower transverse abdominis muscle mostly. So check in with the chest, check in with the throat, the face, everything in the shoulders. Try to relax everything from the ribs up and really use that lower abdominal. And like I said, even if you're doing tiny motions, you're building strength. This is a really beautiful exercise. Keeping that back stable, strengthening the core. That will protect your low back. Good. Bring your knees into your chest and roll across the sacrum, rocking around in little circles. That feels good. Around and around. And the other way. If it feels good, you can draw your knees way into your armpits and rock back and forth that way. Good. All right, everybody bring your knees to a 90-degree position. So try to find that neutral still and tighten up, and then bring your legs unweighted. And if that feels like enough, you're just going to hold that position. If you can, you're going to reach up overhead, thumbs facing towards your head, and we're going to open up a little bit with the arms and with the legs, and then close the space and come back. It's kind of like a modified dead bug, reaching, opening up, only as far as you can go without losing that neutral spine. So I can go all the way out, but then I'm going to arch my back. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to where I start shaking because it's Monday morning, and I start shaking about there, and then I pull everything back in. Let's add the breath. So inhaling as you open, exhaling, pull the belly button in, draw the knees back. 2 more. Inhaling out, exhaling, pull it back. 1 more. Inhaling out, exhale, draw the belly button in to draw the knees home. Nice work. Let those legs come down and rest a moment, one and then the other. We're gonna do a bridging exercise and then we'll come back to our obliques. So for the bridging today, let's do the rolling up through the spine, really loosening up our spine. And then we will hold at the top. And if you want to do single leg challenge, you are welcome to. If not, you can just roll up and roll down. And we'll go for about 8 of them, depending if you're doing single leg challenge, you might get in a few fewer. All right, so feet are grounded. Notice your feet are flat, they're knee distance apart, hip distance apart. You're gonna keep your knees right where they are. They're not gonna come and kiss while you're doing this. So keep them out in line with the hips. And then pull the belly button in, allow that curling to peel the lower spine. So use the belly to peel the tailbone up, and you're not even pushing with the heels yet. And then you'll start pushing a little bit with the feet as you squeeze your glutes and slowly lift through the low back, slowly through that rib cage area towards the shoulder blades, up towards the neck, not coming onto the neck, no pressure on the neck, just to the shoulders. Take a breath here and then slowly come down, one vertebrae at a time, really feeling that you have a segmental spine that can move separately, hydrating those discs, and fully release at the bottom. Let the hips go, let everything go, and then start again. Pull the tummy in, allow that to curl you at the very lowest part of your spine, and then push the heels a little bit, squeeze the glutes, lifting through the rest of the spine, segment by segment. When you come to the top, make sure your neck is comfortable. If you want to, you can do your single leg challenge. So lifting up the right leg, sitting it out if you want, or just lifting it up and making your left glute do all the work, and then switching. Only one side at a time, holding as long as you want. And then slowly with both feet planted again, segment by segment down. Good, keep going on your own breath. See if you can use this as a moving meditation where you're just present in your body with your breathing, listening to what feels useful and strengthening and mobilizing for you. You might close your eyes. Good. If you've been doing the single leg challenge, you probably haven't done too many yet. But we're just going to do 2 more, curling up and curling down. As you do this more and more, your spine will lay down more smoothly. You'll gain more control. Last one. So this works your gluteals, your back extensors. It works the spine itself through good mobility. Go ahead and bring your knees up. Either rock around again, or if you want to come into happy baby, grab hold of the big toe and bring those knees into the armpits as best you can. Let your sacrum float. Let the tailbone release. And take a couple of breaths here. See if you can breathe into the belly. And just release any tension that developed in the low back. If you feel like your hamstrings need a little extra stretch, Go ahead and extend the leg, kicking like a little happy baby. You can giggle. If you hissed before, maybe you need a giggle. Tell your body you're safe now. All right, my friends, we're going to lower the knees down one at a time. Coming back to do a little bit more core work. So we're going to do obliques. You can choose whether you want to do it with your feet planted on the ground or unweighted like this, whichever one you feel like you control best and that really isolates the obliques. Put your hands behind your head with your hands one on top of the other, not interlacing the fingers because then you're going to pull in your head harder. So just supporting the head, not pulling on the neck. We're going to take a big inhale, and as we exhale, twist left shoulder towards right hip. So inhale, belly rises, exhale, pull the belly in and twist across, and then inhale as you come down flat. And exhale, twist towards your left. So we're just peeling the shoulder blade up, trying to keep the throat and chest open, just supporting the head with those hands. And if this just is not hard enough with the feet planted, you're welcome to come up, twist as you reach the opposite leg out, or just keep the legs unweighted as you twist. That'll add a little bit of an extra challenge. Try to get the breathing, inhaling down, exhaling as you scrunch up and shorten those tummy muscles. Couple more. Nice. Last one. Hopefully you feel those obliques. Nice. Go ahead and lower your head down. Unlace your fingers and bring them out into a T position. Bring your feet really wide. And we're going to let our knees go side to side. So if it feels like your back is tight right now, just go little motions, slowly working into it. If it feels good, you can let your knees go all the way down to the floor and feel that stretch through the hips, which we already opened up a little bit. We'll do some more, but feeling that hip flexor stretch as you bring the knees down towards the floor. And if you want to add a little more stretch into the psoas especially, raise the arm up. So if your knees are over toward the left, raise the right arm up. And that will, as you press the knee down and raise the arm up, that'll increase the stretch in the short hip flexors, especially the psoas, which is on the front side of the spine. And then just lower that arm down, go to the other side, and arm up. Feeling a stretch through the side. Nice. Breathing into it, trying to release the tension. Good. And then come back to center. Go ahead and narrow the feet a little bit. And then just keep the arms out to the sides in your T position. Put the top of the hand down into the floor. We're going to do something that we don't usually do in here, but it's going to be good for our posture. So with your arms down in a T, palms facing up, I'm going to do a tiny chin tuck, like a double chin, not looking down, really like not lifting the head, but just tucking the chin in so that we have a double chin, which I know we all strive for. And then we're going to try to look at the toes, but you might not even actually lift your head. Think about looking at the toes, which will activate the inside of the neck musculature, the front side that goes along the front of the spine, and then fully relax. I'm just going to do 5 of these. Chin tuck, tiny lift, maybe not even a lift. Maybe you're just thinking lift, and release completely. Chin tuck, tiny lift. If you do too much of a lift when you aren't strong on those anterior neck muscles, you will feel like you have a weird headache when they get sore. So just really either think, look, or tiny lift with that chin staying in a double chin. That keeps it so that your sternocleidomastoid does not work and those anterior neck muscles that are deep do. Last one. Release. Good job. All right. We're going to roll onto our sides. So whatever side you want. I'm going to my left side. But since we're not in a room together, then do whatever you want. Bring that bottom leg up into your kickstand. Top hand can either go to the mat or onto the hip. Make your top leg straight and in line with the body. So not forward of the body, but just in line. And then see if you can relax your head. Let your neck have a little break here. Let it rest on your arm that's outstretched overhead, or if you don't like that position, you can put a little pillow under your head or just do like I'm doing now with your elbow bent. All right, we're going to do our bicycle first. So always start by activating length through the leg. So lift the leg, point the toe, and reach down away from your head and feel space and length in the leg and in the hip. From that position forward, bend the knee and back. Reach as far as you can, keeping your tummy really tight so that your body is not moving. If your body is moving a lot, you can put your hand on the mat. That'll give you a little extra stability. But really try to pull that core in. And then we're going to add the breath for 2 more. Inhaling forward. Hopefully you already added the breath. Exhale back. Good. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Good. Keep your thigh there. Bend the knee, make those hamstrings work. Heel to the buttock, and then allow the bent knee to come forward and extend. Inhale now back as you sweep. Bend the knee and then exhale as you come forward. Inhale, sweep back. Exhale forward. Good. Last one. All right, come to center, let the leg rest for a moment. Okay, we're gonna do our circles. So we'll do about 10 circles each direction. If that feels like way a lot, you can do fewer, but go for about 10. So in line with the body, we're gonna circle a soccer ball. Forward first, up, back, and down. Nice smooth circles. Nice smooth circles that are slow. If it's feeling like, oh my goodness, my hip is already tired, breathe into it. See if you can use your breath to energize your body. Bring the breath to the hip. Bring it down deep in the belly, all the way through the belly, through the hip. Energize it that way. Good. When you feel like you've done about 10, you know me, I do not count. We're going to reverse. So then you go back, lift, forward, down, back, lift, forward, down. Good. Working that hip. This is so good for your knees, your hips, your core. Keep that belly pulled in tight. And breathing. Use the breath. Energizing with the breath. Feel the ease. Good. Whenever you're done, let the leg rest. And punch it out. Punch, punch, punch. Nice work. Okay, we're going to roll over quickly onto our tummies. Make sure that we got our glutes really well. And we're going to do our swimming exercise. So we did do quadruped, alternating arm and leg, but we're going to do a quick swim too. So if you can, arms kind of in a Y position overhead, thumbs facing up. Let the legs rest for a minute. You can bring your forehead to the mat or lift it a tiny bit. Kind of keep your chin tucked if you lift and look at the mat. And then we're going to do alternating arm and leg. We'll do 5 on each side slowly, and then we'll do 10 fast. So lifting the left leg, right arm up. No pain in the shoulder. Keep the tummy tight to protect the low back. That was 1 on each side. Slowly finishing 2. Squeezing that glute when you lift the leg so that the back is protected. Feeling that diagonal, shoulder blade to hip. Good. Okay, we're gonna go just count to 10 fast, which will be 5 more on each side. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Let your legs flop for a moment. Let your head come to the ground, forehead in the floor. Take a breath here. Lengthen the spine. Let your nose be smushed. It's okay for a moment. Good. Release the tension through the low back. Just let those hips flop. Good. All right, we're going to roll over to the other side or flip over if you are me. I can't see anyone, but I hope you're all doing well. All right. Knee coming up, hand wherever you want. Stack those hips one on top of the other. Pull the belly button in. Point that toe. Make sure it's in line with the body. Make sure your head is resting. And then reach away from the head. Space in the hip. And then swing it forward as you inhale. Bend as you exhale back. Range of motion. Control through those hip muscles. Control with the core. Moving with your breath. Lots of things happening here. Keeping your body in line. Nice. Next time the leg is back, you're going to keep the thigh there. Squeeze the glute. Keep it there. Don't move it. Bend the heel toward the buttock. Hamstring contracts, and then you let it come forward and extend. Inhale as you sweep back. Bend. Exhale as you come forward. Good. Remember, the body isn't moving. Not too much anyway. Good. Come back to center. Let it rest. Big breath in. All right, we're going to do those circles. So about 10 on each direction. Try to make them smooth if you can. If they're jagged, that's okay. That just means your hip muscles aren't used to this. And the more you do it, the more smooth and controlled it'll get. Point that toe in line with the body. And we're going to go forward, lift, back, and down. Little soccer balls circled with the toe. And I don't want you to look down towards your toe. You should have your neck long, top of the head, reaching away from the toe in that good alignment. But if you did look towards your toe, you would see that the foot disappears. So you should have your leg in line with the body so that when it goes back, it disappears. You don't see it. When you think you've done about 10, reverse. And again, if this is feeling hard, see if you can breathe it easy. So breathe, allow that breath to fill you up and give you energy. Allow the breath to lift your leg. Good. We're almost done with our exercising part and we're almost to the meditation part. All right, when you've done about 10, let it rest. Punch it out, punch, punch, punch. You might notice one side is stronger than the other. That's normal. That's just noticing and sort of being kind to yourself as you notice, and doing things like this, or like the single leg bridging. If you notice that one glute is stronger than the other, single leg bridging to kind of even yourself out. That's really normal, but it's also something that we can work on by doing these kind of exercises, bring our body to a little better alignment. All right, we're going to do our figure 4 stretch. So whichever leg you want, cross over the knee and then grab hold of the thigh. Let the knee that is down be free. Don't squeeze around your, oh my gosh, I can't think right now. Don't squeeze around the shin bone, just squeeze around the thigh. And then take a big inhale, breathe down into that tummy. And bend the elbows, bring the knees towards the chest. Try to keep those shoulders away from the ears. I always say the shoulders and the ears cannot be best friends. They have to stay separate. Breathing into the belly and breathing into the hips. So this leg that's crossed over should feel a comfortable, good stretch. Always inviting the opening. So always saying, bringing it to kind of an edge and saying, would you like to open, using the breath to release. Never forcing into something that is guarding or resisting. That's not going to work for your body. It's just going to cause more guarding. Inviting a little more opening as you breathe, bending the elbows maybe a little more so that the knees come up just a little bit more. Nice job. And then just switch legs. Crossing the opposite foot over. And you can always slide the foot across differently if you feel like that's a better stretch. There's a bunch of rotators in your hips. So if you move your ankle, you'll change the rotation angle of that hip and you can change where you're feeling the stretch. So play with it till you feel something that feels really good and releasing for your hip. Breathe into it. Bend those elbows a little more. Check in with the shoulders. Ears and shoulders not being best friends. You might close your eyes and just check in with your body here again. You've done a lot of work. That's awesome work today. Good. And then lower the legs down. We're going to put our feet together and come into a butterfly stretch for the inner thighs. So just allowing the legs to come out as far as it feels comfortable. If it doesn't feel good, you can put your fingers kind of in your hips and push away a little bit, giving yourself a little traction, like pushing down into your leg bone, and see if that feels better. Sometimes that'll decrease the capsular pinching and allow you to get a stretch on the inside of the thigh. And if it doesn't feel good to let them go out so far, you could block them on the outside. You could put your hands there and kind of block, and wherever you feel a stretch, let them hang out there. One more deep stretch and breath into the inner thighs. Good. Bring your knees together. Good. All right, we're going to quickly do our hamstring stretch. We don't need a strap unless you have a strap right there nearby. Let one leg go down straight on the mat, and the other leg, we're going to grab behind the thigh. And then we're just going to work into extending the thigh, the knee, and bending. So extending the hamstring, straightening the knee, and then allowing it to bend. Go 6 times through that, straightening as much as you can, and then bending. Straighten and bend. Good. Nice. If you have a strap, you could always go ahead and switch legs. With a strap, you could always just hook it around your foot and pull up until you feel a comfortable stretch. And you can always do that contract for 6 seconds and then relax and take up the slack. That's a really great way. We've done that a bunch of times, but it's a really good way to get the muscles that are tight to release. If you activate them for about 6 seconds and then release them and take up the slack into a stretch, that's a really nice way to stretch your muscles out into range that you might not have had before. Good. Go ahead and relax that. Okay, we are going to come up and do one balance exercise, single leg standing, before we do a meditation, because I promised we would. So come all the way up to standing, check in with your grounded feet, and then we'll do a segmental relaxation going through all the parts of our body. The simplest kind of meditation today. On Thursday, we'll do a little journey. All right, find your balance in mountain pose first. Grounded through the feet, lifted through the knees a little bit, through the pelvis, through the belly. Shoulders are down and back, lifted through the top of the head. Contract the belly. We're going to shift onto the right side, lifting the left leg up without really moving the pelvis. So we're not shifting way over, and we're not hiking or dropping. Keeping everything contracted and just standing on one leg. Lifted through the top of the head through. Still, see if you can relax your toes. And then arms out to the side. If you want a little bit of a challenge, you can sway your arms. You can bring them forward and back. Just moving a little bit over that super stable leg. And then bring it back to center. You could also come into heart. Nice. Go ahead and switch legs. Find your mountain pose first. In the middle, tighten, pull the belly in, shoulders drop, tall through the top of the head, and shift without really hiking or dropping or shifting too far. Now stabilizing on the other foot, toes are relaxed. Let the leg do all the little wobbles that it needs to do. This is strengthening your system, every little wobble. If you need a chair, of course, you're always welcome to fingertip onto chair or onto wall or any other furniture you have nearby. And if you want a little bit of movement over that arm, be a tree in the wind. Good. All right, my friends, when you feel done on that leg, we're going to make our way down to supine position. And if you want a pillow, you can grab one. If you want a blanket over you or something under the knees, please make yourself comfortable. And we have about 7 minutes to do a segmental relaxation. All right, make yourself comfortable. Relax all the parts of the body into the mat. And we're going to go starting at the toes, all the way up through the head, relaxing one bit at a time. But before we start that, just notice the body laying here on the mat. We did a ton of work today. You worked all the muscles. Check in with your body and check in with your energy. We didn't do that at the beginning, but see if you feel hopefully a buzzing of energy. If you feel a bit more grounded in your energy now. Check in if there's anywhere that needs a little more attention, any twinges or pain in the body. Bringing a big breath down into the belly, allow the belly to rise with the inhale. And fall with the exhale. You can imagine the waves coming into shore as you inhale, filling you up. receding as you exhale, the sound of the rocks clicking, the sound of the sand shifting as you exhale. Bring your attention to your toes, all those little 10 toes. Wiggle them a little bit, and then see if you can just let your feet and your toes go. Let them fall wherever they want to. Notice that they're becoming heavy. Feel a warmth of relaxation spreading from the toes through the arches of the foot, up towards the heel and the calf, through the ankle, a warmth, relaxation, heaviness coming into the ankles and the calves. Feel the shins release and relax. Feel the calves release heavy into the mat. Feel the warmth of relaxation spreading up through the knees, bringing healing and softness to the knees. Feel relaxation coming up through the thighs, the relaxation of the quads, the hamstrings in the back. Trying to let go of any holding now. Inhaling up towards the pelvis, feeling the warmth of relaxation and vitality, creativity coming up through the pelvis. Feel your sacrum on the mat. Feel the grounding there. Feel heaviness and relaxation through the sacrum, through the low back. Notice if you're holding on. If you're holding on, inhale deeply. Bring gentle attention to the holding and ask yourself, can I let go a little more? Tell yourself that you are safe here in this space. Tell your body it can release and let go just a little bit more. Bringing warmth now up through the belly, from the pelvic bowl, up through the belly and through all the organs. Working your way up through the liver, the gallbladder, the spleen, up through the intestines. Coming up into the ribs and the lungs. Allow yourself to inhale naturally, noticing that these lungs fill with air like beautiful balloons. Feel the diaphragm do its job, lowering down as you inhale, pulling the air in, allowing relaxation and warmth to come up through the chest, through the spine, along the back side where the shoulder blades are, letting that space between the shoulder blades be heavy and relaxed. And feeling the heart space open up, feeling light through the heart, the connection to your higher power, to divinity. Inhale deeply this light into the heart, allowing it to infuse you. Feeling the shoulders and the heart soften, the shoulder blades let go, releasing the holding. You don't have to hold everything on top of those shoulders. Let them go. Bringing warmth and relaxation up now from your heart and the shoulder blade zone up to the top of the shoulders and into the throat and the neck. Feeling it spread relaxation through the neck and the throat. Health and vitality and open communication through the throat. Up into the head, feeling the whole brain warm, healthy, vibrant. Feeling your scalp and your skull relax and let go. Letting the jaw release. Let go of the clenching. Wiggle your tongue, wiggle your jaw a little bit and let it be heavy. Let the eyes relax in their sockets. Let the forehead unfurrow. Let the scalp hang heavily and loosely on your head. Spend several breaths here, just allowing relaxation to swirl around you. Maybe envision a color or just warm light, vitality, radiance, health. Allow yourself just to be cocooned in this swirling, beautiful energy. Feeling that heart space open, feeling the crown open, feeling a connection to your highest, your very highest. If you would like to stay in repose and continue from this relaxed state into a journey or a meditation, deepening your practice, you are welcome to stay here. If you need to return to your day, we're going to roll over onto our sides, taking a breath there, wiggling the fingers and toes as you come onto your side. I am in my body, I am safe, I am healthy, I am strong. Pushing up into a seated position. And taking one deep breath, lifted through the top of the head, grounded through the sit bones. Funny, we didn't spend much time here today in the seated position. All right, my friends, namaste. Enjoy this stormy or not stormy, depending on where you are, fall day. And thank you all for joining me. And I will hopefully see some of you on Thursday at 1 o'clock. All right. Love to you all.